A young family moved into an old Victorian house in Ohio. It looked beautiful from the outside, but something inside felt wrong. They had a little girl named Emily. She was 3 years old. Always smiling. Always happy. Emily's bedroom was on the second floor. It had soft wallpaper and shelves full of dolls. The perfect room for a child. But everything changed on the first night. At exactly 2 a.m., Emily started crying. Not normal crying. It was loud. Full of fear. Her mother ran upstairs. Emily sat in bed, shaking. Eyes wide open. Staring at the toy shelf. But nothing looked strange. They thought it was just a nightmare. The next night, the same thing happened. Same time. Same cry. Same fear. Night after night, it continued. Always at 2 a.m. Emily would scream and cry. They tried soft music. They left the light on. They even slept beside her. Nothing worked. Every night, Emily cried. Every night, she looked at the same corner. The shelf full of dolls. Something in that room was scaring her. Something only she could see. The mother started noticing one specific doll. It sat on the top shelf. A porcelain doll. Wearing a white lace dress. Cracked cheek. And cold, glassy eyes. Those eyes didn't just look ahead. They followed you. The mother asked her husband, "Did we ever buy this doll?" He didn't remember. Neither of them did. The doll just appeared. They tried removing it. Hiding it in a drawer. But the next morning, it was back on the shelf, facing Emily's bed. They locked the doll inside a closet. Still, it returned. No one opened the door. No one touched it. But the doll always came back. Emily's cries grew louder. Stronger. More terrified. The parents could feel it now. The doll wasn't just a toy. Something was attached to it. Something evil. And it refused to leave. The fear was growing. The parents needed proof. The father bought a baby monitor with night vision. He placed it in Emily's room, pointed at her bed and the shelf. That night, they didn't sleep. They sat in the living room, watching the screen in silence. At 2:03 a.m., Emily started to whimper, then cry. The camera showed her sitting up, looking scared, frozen in place. And then, they saw something move. The doll on the shelf turned its head. Slowly, its glass eyes shifted and locked onto Emily. The mother gasped. The father froze. Seconds later, the doll was gone. No longer on the shelf. Then, on the screen, the doll was standing at the edge of Emily's bed. Still, facing her, like it had been watching her sleep all along. Emily pulled the blanket over her face. She didn't scream. She didn't move. She was too afraid. The parents ran upstairs. But when they opened the door, the doll was back on the shelf, just sitting there, like nothing ever happened. But the footage didn't lie. They rewound it, watched it again, and again. The movement was real. The doll had moved. It had vanished, and it had stood by their daughter's bed. There was no more doubt, no more guessing. The doll was alive, and it wanted something. Something from Emily. The next morning, the parents had made their decision. They wouldn't wait for another night. The father grabbed a pair of gloves. The mother held a black trash bag open. Carefully, they picked up the doll. Its eyes seemed to stare straight at them, even without moving. They placed it inside the bag, tied it tight, then sealed it inside an old wooden box. They walked to the back of their property, far from the house, to an open field. They stacked firewood, poured gasoline, placed the box in the center, and lit the fire. The flames rose high. The wood cracked loudly. But then they heard something else. A faint scream. Sharp. Inhuman. As if something inside the box was alive. A foul smell filled the air, like burning flesh and rotten hair. The fire raged for over an hour, until the doll was nothing but ash. And that night, Emily didn't cry. She slept peacefully for the first time in weeks. No fear, no screaming, just silence. They thought it was over. They hoped it was done. But a few nights later, the mother stood by the upstairs window. She looked out toward the field and froze. Two small glowing eyes were watching from the dark, not blinking, not moving, just watching the house. Because some evil never truly dies. It waits. And sometimes, it comes back.